to talk about crystals? You ready to talk about some crystals? Hello, beautiful, and thank you so much for joining me in this video where I wanted to talk about crystals. I love crystals. I've loved crystals from a young age, and I just love how beautiful they are. I love how there's so many ways you can utilize crystals, and I just wanted to talk to you about some of the ways you can utilize crystals, what crystals are, how to cleanse them, how to program them, how to work with crystals ultimately is the goal of this video I wanted to talk about. And Luna will be joining us from time to time. She is a crystal expert. Aren't you, Luna? So first of all, I want to talk about crystals and what they are. So let's just hop right into this video and start our little chat together if you're ready. You ready? Okay. I'm going to put you down in this sun. So crystals are different types of minerals, and what makes crystals really special is that every single crystal is unique in its natural ability or the properties that it possesses. So just like us human beings, how we each have unique and different talents or personality traits that we were maybe just born with or that we adapted, crystals are the same. Each and every crystal has its own unique properties. So each different crystal is different and unique in its own way. So it is important when you are buying a crystal that you recognize what its properties are, because that way you can fully and properly utilize it in the way that it will most support you. So, sometimes if you're just, in a metaphysical shop, or if you're in a crystal shop, or in a mineral shop, or you're hunting for crystals, and you're really, really drawn to a specific crystal, definitely look up what that crystal represents, what its properties are, because that'll even tell you what energy you are in alignment with right now. So let's say, for instance, I go into a crystal store and I'm really drawn to rose quartz. This is a rose quartz point, and we'll talk about the difference of shapes of crystals in a moment here. I hope that I can get a close-up of this beautiful stone. This is a rose quartz, and let's say that I'm attracted to a rose quartz when I first go into the crystal shop. There's so many beautiful crystals, but for some reason it's like, this one I'm drawn to so much and I can't let it go. I have to buy it. Well, what does rose quartz represent? Well, it represents love, and that can be self-love. Maybe I'm out of alignment and I'm needing to practice more self-love. Maybe I am subconsciously wanting to draw in more love. Maybe there's some love that needs to go into my relationships. Maybe there's more love that needs to go into my business or in my own care routine. There can be so many different reasons, because rose quartz encompasses all love. So it has something to do with love, and that doesn't mean it's just romantic love, but rose quartz definitely does reflect romantic love, just so you guys know. And so each one of these crystals represents something else, some different property in its own uniqueness. What's also really cool about crystals and how they are similar to us human beings is crystals absorb information. So you can literally just talk to your crystals. You can talk to them. That's what honestly I do, and we'll talk about that a little later on in this video about programming your crystals. But you can talk to your crystals. You can, just talk to them like a friend. You can tell them what you're trying to do, what your goals are, what your manifestations are, or what your healing goals are, what you need at this moment. You can talk to your crystals about these things, and they will absorb that information. It's almost like you're creating a relationship with your crystal. So if you are fairy-like like me, and you'd be interested in doing that, I highly recommend it, because these are minerals, but they're very powerful minerals. And when we utilize them with intention, and when we come into it with grace, and we, not just like you wouldn't just go up to another person and be like, hey, I heard that you're good at this, so I'm just going to grab you and use you real quick, and this is what I want out of you, and then that's it. No, usually you would ask that person, you'd approach them, you'd say, I really admire, your natural talents and abilities in this area, and I could really use some help or wisdom in those areas. Could you please help me? And just ask. Crystals, they always say yes, almost always. They almost always want to work with you. If a crystal doesn't want to work with you, it's rare. It's rare that it doesn't want to work with you, and it probably just means because you're not in the right alignment at that time. But crystals love to be worked with, and they love to be talked to. So it's really, it's a really just beautiful exchange if you were to ask your crystal. So for instance, let's say that I am looking for protection. Well, tourmaline, black tourmaline, which is this crystal here, it's usually just solid black. Sometimes it has hints of green or aspects of white. This is also tourmaline, but this has green in it. So this is green tourmaline mixed with black tourmaline. And you can see how there's some white and there's some green. So let's say that I'm wanting more protection. I'm wanting to be protected from harmful energies, from energy vampires. So just talk with your crystal, tell it what you would love, how you would love to work with it, and just build a relationship with your crystal in that way. So when we are establishing our relationship with our crystals, like I said, it's really good to know what their properties are, what they are naturally infused with, and sticking true to that. So you wouldn't get a crystal that is conflicting with what you're trying to manifest. If you're trying to manifest love, so it's really important to know the properties and the natural abilities that your crystals possess, especially when you're trying to manifest or heal or really trying to achieve something. You're trying to work with these crystals in order to do something. So if I'm looking for protective energy against energy vampires, like I mentioned before, it's definitely important to go and look for some black tourmaline, lava, shungite, selenite even, for those purposes, rather than, using amethyst. Amethyst, which is this beautiful crystal right here, is really great for intuition. It's great for intuition. It's great for opening your third eye, for pensiveness, really stepping into deep contemplation. Amethyst is beautiful for many, many things. Those are just some, but I'm just saying, you wouldn't use amethyst for a protection stone. It's gonna try. That's the thing about crystals, is they're beautiful, and even if that's not necessarily the purpose, you're gonna try. But think about it as human beings. What if you hadn't already someone who was, naturally good at dancing, and yet you're trying to convince this other person who's naturally good at soccer to be the dancer, and they're like, yeah, I can do some dance moves, but I'm not going to be able to, show up for you as much as the dancer would. So I hope that analogy makes sense in regards to crystals. So let's go on to the next topic, which is how to cleanse crystals. Now, I highly recommend anytime that you purchase crystals, whether it's from the store, online, from a supplier, no matter what, always cleanse your crystals, especially if you're using them for personal use. But even if I'm handing them out to other people, I always cleanse them first. So different ways that you can cleanse your crystals, and it's different per crystal. So it's really important that you do look up your crystal and the best way to cleanse it, but it can also be what you find to be the best way to cleanse crystals. So a few of my favorite ways to cleanse crystals is, number one, with some sage. So I just have my beautiful I forgot what this shell is called, albacorn. I'll put a little thing in it what it is, but it's just this beautiful shell that I use to hold my sage. So I have my sage right here, and what I do is I would just light my sage, and I either just would go around and I would clear my crystals. Sometimes I do hold them up and really try and cleanse it. It's so interesting. When I hold it up, actually, you guys, and I cleanse with sage, you can literally see the clarity change in your crystals when you're cleansing with sage. That is something why I love sage. It is such a powerful energy. It is so cleansing, and that's why I really love using sage to cleanse out my crystals. You can like actually even see it when you're doing it. But another healthy way to cleanse out your crystals would be to run them under running water. So you could do this in your bathtub, you could do this in the sink. Run running water, and as you're putting your crystal underneath the faucet, I want you to intentionally think of that water as source energy, as that really bright, vibrant white light that is going through your crystal and cleansing it. And you could even speak it out, saying, I cleanse this crystal with this purified water, and just keep it underneath the faucet and cleanse it until you energetically feel like it's cleansed, or you think that's good enough, and then you can put it to the side. This is beautiful citrine point here. I'll just show it to you. Oh, how gorgeous is that? It like magnifies it in the camera. I love it. Okay, another way that you can cleanse your crystals, and another one of my favorite ways, is to just put crystals in the earth. Find the base of a strong tree, put it in your plants. You know, crystals actually also aid in plants. So like my house plant has a bunch of black tourmaline in it, because not only do I want protection in that area of the room, but also this is also protecting my plant, and it's absorbing all the negative energy that could surround my plant. So crystals are great for house plants, especially like if you want to do regrowth. I had a plant that was dying, and so I put some rose quartz in. I actually put these stones, these rose quartz hearts, I put them in my plant that needed healing. Come here, baby. And this really amplified its healing, and it actually got so much new growth too. So put your crystals in the dirt, in a spot where you know that they're not going to get hurt, stolen, you know, if you're not wanting to give away your crystals. But you can put them in the soil, you can put them at the base of a strong tree or a strong, healthy plant, and the earth will just naturally cleanse out that crystal for you. That crystal will be so beautifully charged. Some people like to charge their crystals or to cleanse their crystals in the sun. I don't advise that. You can if you want. My crystals right now for this video are in the sun, and that's okay. But some crystals actually will fade and have damage done to them from the sun. So for instance, selenite, like this beautiful stone right here, which is also this big guy right here, selenite, it'll actually fade in the sun. So you don't want to put this stone in the sunlight, in the direct sunlight, to cleanse it. You really want to keep it actually in a shaded space. And again, I usually clean my selenite by either saging or putting it into the earth. The moon also, the moon will not cleanse your crystals, but you can charge your crystals with like the full moon energy, which can be very helpful and impacting, really power up your crystals. Maybe you're doing a certain like ritual or a certain intention, a certain manifestation, and therefore you want to charge your crystals by moonlight. You can do that. Another way that you can cleanse your crystals is literally just through your own intention. You can hold your crystal and you can visualize white light going through your crystal, and you can even speak out, I cleanse you of all impurities and all that no longer serves. You are cleansed, you are made anew. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So those are just some ways that you can cleanse your crystals. Mind you, when I mentioned with the sage, you can also use Palo Santo. I think sage, though, is going to be your best bet, because Palo Santo is really good for bringing in blessings, and sage is really good for clearing out. So those are my favorite ways to cleanse my crystals, and also I feel the safest ways. So just don't you do the sun. Even if you're putting your crystals out in the ground, like I mentioned earlier, in the earth, make sure it's in a shady area, so you're gonna still have that beautiful color from your crystals. Now, next step is if you have purchased a new crystal, you've cleansed it, you've talked with it, you've made your relationship, and now you want to program it for your specific needs. You are just going to talk to your crystal in that way that I talked about in building a relationship with your crystals. You can just pick up your crystal and you can whisper your intention. So for instance, I have some green hemonite crystals. I have a bunch of these beautiful little green hemonite crystals, and these crystals are really good for healing. So this can be for healing in any aspect of your life. And so I would usually take one of these crystals and I would whisper it my intention. So if I'm trying to heal, let's say from heartbreak, I would say, first of all, before I go into that, I want to say that when you get your crystal and you've cleansed it out, before you do your programming, I just want you to whisper into your crystal, I rid you of any previous programming. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. After you've done this, you can then put your own programming. So it can be whatever you want, you guys. Let's stick with that theme that I was saying of, I want to heal my heart. And this is a great heart healer. I program you with the intention of healing. Please heal my broken heart, heal any physical ailments, and help bring healing love into my life. I ask that this crystal work hand in hand with Archangel Raphael. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's what you can do. Now, I mentioned Archangel Raphael. You guys do not have to know your angels or mention that. I'm literally programming this crystal right in front of you. And so I wanted to say that because Archangel Raphael is very in harmony with healing and really will enhance that energy of healing in that crystal. So that's why I mentioned him, and he is such a beautiful angel to work with. So that is for cleansing and programming. Those are very, very, very important aspects of crystals. Now I want to talk about the different shapes of crystals. So we have a few different shapes and varieties going on right here. So round crystals, such as this beautiful guy here, this round stone here, he is going to be, or she, pardon me, is going to be a great use of balance. So circular stones are great for balance because you have all round corners, you know, there's no corners, so it's balance. And that's great also for touchstones. Touchstones are also going to be in a circular or oval type form, and they are great for seeking balance. So this is one of my favorite crystals. I always keep this in my purse. This is selenite, and it's a touchstone. So if ever I'm feeling like around energy that I don't want to be around, like negative energies, or I'm going into a situation where I want a lot of clarity, and I'm just trying to move things around, so it looks like Luna wants to lay down in the sun. If I'm going to be around some negative energies, or I'm looking for like clarity, these are things that selenite is naturally good at, is bringing clarity. It can also be a great healer. It can transmute negative energy, and so having this as a touchstone in this circular way will really bring me balance. And I can rub it and hold it in my hand. When I meditate, it brings this balance in its circular form. So circles are great for balance and regrounding. Okay, then we have points. So we have several points you can see here in my different crystals. This is just like the perfect point. I mean, it's in a perfect pyramid. This is a type of aura quartz, and it is a perfect pyramid. I love it, and it's really going to bring your manifestations up. So points are really great for manifesting, for really uplifting the energy. Like for instance, this is citrine. It's in a citrine point, so powerful. It is lifting the energy up and out of it and all around you in a positive. This citrine is great for positivity, for love, for joy, for noticing the joy in your life. So this point is really great to work with when you're searching for joy. And points in general, they uplift the energy, they raise it up and out and around you. So that's what points are meant to do. So if you're really trying to manifest or achieve a certain goal and you want to utilize crystals, I strongly recommend using a point. Now, the only other shape that I have is these heart shapes. beautiful for anything that you want to do in regards to love. And these crystals, I have a bunch of these little ones. I don't know if you can see it there. There's a bunch of these little ones here. I used to have many more. I programmed these for manifesting love, and also for bringing in self-love, to love yourself, to be gentle on yourself, to respect yourself. And I actually programmed these, cleansed them out, programmed them, and then I actually passed them out to my friends and my dear ones that I see that they're suffering in something in regards to this crystal, and I give it to them. So I usually give away actually a lot of my crystals. But obviously that heart shape is going to be great for manifesting love, for attracting love, for amplifying your self-love. It is in the shape of a heart, so it definitely radiates this love. So next, I want to talk about how you can utilize your crystals. So for me, something that I love to utilize crystals is I will use them not only for my manifestations and my goals and my dreams, but I will use them also in my yoga routines. So if I am doing a yoga class, even for myself, or hosting one, I love to have crystals around in the room. I will lay them up right in front of my mat. And depending on different types that I'm trying to achieve, for instance, if I'm doing a class, let's stick with this name, a self-love class. I'm trying to boost my confidence. I'm trying to give myself some self-love. So at the same time, I also want to be uplifted, and I want to feel clear and energized. So my setup would most likely look like I'd grab this big thing of selenite. I put my selenite at the top of my mat, and then I would grab a few of my beautiful rose quartz crystals, however many that I want, and maybe I'd amplify it with a point. Or maybe also, if I'm wanting to bring in that light, uplifting clarity, joy, maybe instead of this rose quartz point, I might want to bring in my citrine and place that on my mat. And I have my little yoga setup here, which you guys can only somewhat see because of my camera, but I'd have my little yoga setup here, and that is perfect for my yoga class, and it really does, you guys. It amplifies the energy, and your crystals love to work with you. They love to be included, so it really does. They really will put that energy out there for you. So that's a way that I use crystals. Also, I love to journal and I love to scribe. So I love to make sure that I have certain crystals when I'm scribing. So for instance, if I'm really trying to manifest more money or abundance or prosperity, then I will just bring out this beautiful stone, pyrite, right here. And I will bring out this gorgeous stone, and I will put it out in front of me, and I will be able to have its beautiful energy surrounding me as I write out my manifestations, as I write out what I want to bring in for myself. And this guy is just going to amplify that beautiful energy, because that is all what it does. It loves to amplify manifestation of financial abundance, finances, money, coins, different types of currency in particular. This guy is so heavy. It's such a dense block of pyrite, but I loved it because you can have like the really mirror reflective side of it, and then I also love how it's exposed and all of its roughness and gorgeousness. And it's very, very gold, as you can see. This literally looks like a block of gold, so you can definitely tell, like, treasure, abundance, money right here. Also, if you're going out and about, or if you're active like me, you can put the crystals on your body in the form of bracelets. You can have necklaces. You also, this is my beautiful jade roller. So jade is a crystal that definitely amplifies physical beauty. It also reduces inflammation in the body, and it has so many wonderful properties, but I was just going to mention a few. And it's also just very like soft, warm, and like harmonious. But you can get crystals in the form of a facial roller like this, so that you can roll your face. And this is great for depuffing, just for sending yourself some love. This is a great self-care routine. You just want to like love on yourself a little bit. Give yourself a face massage with your crystal roller. So I'll just give you guys a little close-up here. This is my beautiful jade roller. Some people have rose quartz. You can get all different types of rollers. This is just the one that I chose for my personal self, so that I love that jade roller. So you can have, I love, honestly, you guys, my favorite way of working with crystals is through bracelets. I have, you know, some bracelets over here hanging on this beautiful branch right here. I'm also wearing a few to show you guys. That I just love wearing crystals like this because, for instance, this crystal that I made, this bracelet that I made, this is gold, not gold, this is gray tiger's eye right here, and then these black stones here, this is actually shungite. So I love working with this crystal when I'm editing my videos or when I'm posting on social media, when I'm trying to work on the computer. I love wearing this bracelet in particular because the gray tiger's eye is not only it's gonna help me with focus, but the shungite is also gonna protect me from the technology waves and the toxicity that comes out of technology. It's going to protect me from that. So I love wearing this bracelet when I'm doing editing and working on the computer. It's really going to amplify that energy of protection, but also it also helps with my clarity. This one is tiger's eye and lava stone. So again, this is working on protecting me from any harmful energy, not only with technology, but let's say I go to work or I do teach a yoga class. This is not only, it's going to enhance my focus because of the tiger's eye, it's going to enhance my courage and my bravery because of the tiger's eye, and then the lava stone is going to provide protection. So I love that. I have so many different ones. This one I love to use for meditations when I'm really trying to go deep into a meditative state because of these stones. They represent deep meditation, deep thoughtfulness, connection to the divine. If I'm wanting to project self-love to other people, like give love to other people, if I'm wanting to bring in more self-love for myself, I will wear my rose gold crystals. So I have many different intentions for my crystal bracelets and necklaces. I do make crystal bracelets, so if you guys are interested in them, you can purchase them. And I do specify they are made to order because I myself have some really teeny tiny wrists, and because I'm a little fairy, and I know that a lot of us other girls out there are fairies too, and you might have tiny wrists, and so you need a customizable size crystal bracelet, and you'd love to have one, then contact me, girl. Let's get you set up. I've also made a lot of bracelets for men as well, and I've asked them, you know, hey, like, how do you feel wearing this? He says it's really been impactful and it's really helped him. So these can be so powerful to work with. I highly recommend that you wear crystals. If you're a female, you can of course just grab some of these crystals and shove them in your bra. Put them in your pocket, but they can get lost in pockets, so that's why I really advocate for the bracelet or the necklace. Also earrings. I also have some tiger's eye earrings, and I wanted to show them to you today, you guys, but honestly, I transported all these crystals by location, so I had to walk here in nature, and I brought all these crystals, and then I forgot a few things of my supplies that I wanted to share with you, but it's too far to walk back and leave them all here, so that'll have to be for next time. I can show you my earring, my crystal earrings that I like to wear and utilize. But yeah, you guys, I hope that this kind of helped. I hope that I gave you some great information in regards to crystals. If you would love to know more, then please let me know, because I can always do another video on this. I love talking about crystals. Honestly, this topic goes on forever. It is limitless. I'm going to go ahead and recommend, if you are just getting started with crystals, I'm going to recommend a few books in the description box below for you to utilize, because these books have really helped me, and they're a lot of fun. And at the end of this screen, I am going to put a picture up. I'm going to put a picture up from one of my favorite books of different crystals, and I want you to just stare at the whole page and pick 3 that pop out to you. 3 that you're like, ooh, that really, really stands out to me. And then I'm going to put another picture on the screen a few seconds later so that that you can see what those properties, what that crystal represents, and that'll tell you where you are right now, how you need to align, or what you're in tune with right now, and how that crystal can help you. It's just a little fun little, almost like a crystal quiz for you guys. So I hope that you enjoy that. And I look forward to seeing you in one of my next videos, whether it be in a yoga class, affirmations, a guided meditation, or in one of my spiritual conversations. I really love and appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're looking for more videos like this, and I look forward to seeing you here again. Goodbye, my friends. Namaste. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Luna says bye. You want to say